new executive director.
The introduction just reflects the fact that this is a guy that can't decide what he wants to do in life, and decided that economic development was a great path in which I could really pursue a lot of different things I was interested in life. And that is the honest to God's truth. When you look at what economic development involves, it involves really every aspect of the community. So in that sense, it involves everything that everybody in this room does. And it's everybody's job, because if we don't do the job from the level of the citizen all the way up, how do we move the county forward? I want to start with a quote by Alexander Graham Bell, because for me, it's always meant a lot. When one door closes, another opens, but we often look regrettably upon the closed door and we don't see the one that has just opened before us. New doors are opening for Ashtabula County. But we've been doing a lot more planning and thinking ahead, which I think is extremely important. We certainly have been working harder at building our growth capacity, that is the ability for communities and businesses to grow, and lots of other things. And one of the things that we're going to be pulling together is a statement that kind of captures all the success and the things as we kind of look to the future, what do we really accomplish? And I think it's important to have that in mind as a baseline. Economic development is very much a community conversation, and it touches everybody. When I look at rural communities, I find that the success formula for economic development is to couple economic development and community development, because they're not two different worlds. Economic and community development are connected worlds. You think about how industries locate places where they should do business, their first cut is off the web. So if we don't speak their language, and if we don't have the right presence on the internet, you're not going to get another shot at people. In addition to that, we need strong relationships externally. That's why our representatives, both in state government and federal government, are important. Accessing resources in Greater Cleveland, Youngstown, and even Erie, Pennsylvania is going to be important to us being able to move forward. We need to put a human face on economic development. And this needs to be about people. And it needs to be about people on every level, starting with kids in schools. It has to do with what after-school discovery is trying to do, some of Rich's ideas in that regard about lifelong learning. It has to do with what ATEC does. It certainly has to do with what Kent State University Ashtabula does. It has to do with what daycares do. It has to do with everything that we do to build the human presence in this county, because that's what economy is about. The economy, like communities, are living entities. They're not dead and dumb matter. This is all about people, and we change. And unless we see that, we're going to fail to really recognize opportunities and, I think, embrace the living realities that exist here. I think the tourism sector is certainly a strong and valuable industry cluster for us. I think opportunities exist. I think that working with Mark and his team and board on creating more destination businesses is essential. Competing for outside income is a vital aspect of what we need to do. Keeping more healthcare local and strengthening healthcare services is incredibly important. And this is the proposition of wellness, lifestyle, creating a healthy population, creating a healthy workforce, because if we don't do that, we're gonna continue to invest our resources in things that keep us from investing in other kinds of things. I think a strong agribusiness, winery, and ag bio sectors are really key, and I'm going to be spending time with farmers and cooperative extension and lots of other resources that, frankly, really have been doing a lot, and we need to make sure that what they do is a part of our economic development strategy. Same thing is true of healthcare and tourism. Our first job is really to work to help employers fill the jobs that are available, and that's where certainly the industrial maintenance program that the 12 employers are working with ATEC on is a perfect example of doing that, and many other things, the various business school partnerships that are beginning to emerge, on identifying the jobs of the future and how to develop that workforce You can't spend all your time just in the here and now. You really have to put time really figuring out where the jobs and the economy is going and how you're going to gear the workforce in the future. Working with employers and resource partners on talent retention and recruitment is going to be essential. We need the knowledge workforce. We need the leaders of the future, which is why leadership at Ashtabula County and the Young Professionals Group and all these other groups and entities have been trying to create a more vibrant, younger generation is essential. Kent State Ashtabula is a central part of that. The communities, all the things we're doing are really incredibly important. I think it is incredibly important that we start very, very early on, not only with career awareness, but helping people understand how to be their own personal economic developer. We need to give people the basic tools to be able to navigate in this economy and be able to create prosperity for themselves. I think executive housing is essential and residential improvement. There aren't a lot of available houses. There are some, but it begs the question, really, if you want people to live here, the managers, the engineers, and others, you have to have the housing stock that's going to make that possible. Arts, culture, entertainment, parks, recreation, all essential when you think about quality of life to all generations, and different interests, when you look generationally at those different amenities. Educational advancement and lifelong learning. It's got to be, when you look at the overall curves in terms of what affects economic growth in any area, it's really educational attainment. And you can say, well, not everybody's destined to go to college and get a degree, and that's true, but you have to have a good education, and you have to work at lifelong learning. Otherwise, you're going to be out of a job by the time you're 30, 35 years old. I think education and instilling the ability to learn is going to be essential to what we do. If I had one wish, it would be that we had a first-class business office park at one of these interchanges sitting out here, because I know what it takes to attract quality branded companies. If you want to attract, you got to have that. Business assistance and deal making is something that I think historically we've been most closely associated with. And I think we're going to continue to do that. I think we need to be more selective where we spend our time. The issue is that we just can't do it all, especially when you're doing things that you can actually put up on the web and people can download, as opposed to us spending 2 hours on individual information requests. So we need to seek efficiencies around that. The other thing is, I think we need to make sure that we're really working on projects that, there are good projects and bad projects, and we have to read them so that we don't spend our time on bad deals and end up creating more costs and benefits in the county.
What appealed to you about this particular opportunity at this time?
I wanted an opportunity to work with a group of people to make an intensive difference in a place. And I wanted to go someplace that needed it. And someplace that I thought would offer me a lot, just in terms of the integration of my career and life. And I felt that about Ashtabula County, and I think that fundamentally that's why I'm here. But I think we have a great chance here. I think there's a chance to make a difference. And it's a basic read of people that gives me confidence that we can do that.
We've never funded our Metro Park system up until this day. And people don't realize we have over 1,000 acres with all these vast holdings, natural resources. What's your perspective on that?
Geography is a huge issue. It's both a blessing and a challenge to us. So not just the size of the county, but its location, commuting time. So for some things it becomes a huge challenge, but it creates a wonderful enclave. It's really a place apart that I think you can do some very unique things. It's kind of, in some ways, there's a cloistered kind of sense that can be positive. The natural resource base, I think, is one of the leading assets. Certainly our coastline, the agricultural land, the open space, your parks, outdoor recreation, as Mark Winchell knows, is huge. And it's good for all of us because it helps us stay fit. And you can even go out and hike in the snow, right, Mark? But I think there is a difference also in how insiders and outsiders perceive any place. I think no matter what the place is, I see challenges, but I see more opportunities. I see more assets and things to move us forward. The question is just how you use those things to do it. And that's why I think this connection of economic and community development is so important so that we don't do one at the expense of the others. We need to build community, we need to preserve resources, we need to build economy. But you know, my overall view, and I think my wife would share this, is that you know, it's an incredibly rich and beautiful place. I think there's even a beauty to old industry, and I have an appreciation for that. I say, well, how can that be? Because it really brings back history and our connection to the past. But you know, there's an artistic sense about that that's really very, very important. So good luck with your levy. We've been big supporters of parks all over. Yes, sir.
Is there any chance of having the slides sent out to?
Yes, sir.
all of us?
Yes, sir. How about if we put them on the website? What do you think of that, Scott? Probably you can download them. So I don't have the communication list to get back to all you, but give us a day or two, and we'll post it to our website, and you can get it from there. And it's ashtabulagrowth.com. So we're easy to find. We're going to be making a lot of changes to the website. Several of you have had suggestions, and I agree, and they need to have staff names on, we need to update our board list and lots of things. But it's not like we haven't been doing a lot. I got to tell you, when I look at what Scott, the executive committee's been doing, what Cindy and Hattie have been doing, it's been amazing, you know, the load that they've taken on and had to do. So now it's my turn to jump in and help a little bit. But I thank you for being here, and I hope to continue this conversation with you. Thank you.